This is Lawrence D. Adams. This is when spirituality and the game collide. You have the thinking class, and we are live. That's right, we're live on Instagram, we're live on Facebook, and we're live on YouTube. Let's get it started as we go. You know how we do it. This is shout out to Evo Rebirth. What's going on? Let's get it. This is Lawrence D. Adams. We're live on Facebook, Instagram, and actually on YouTube. Let's get it going. Let's get it cracking live. This is when spirituality and the game collide. You have the thinking class with Lawrence D. Adams. JONO's coming through, and we are going to be talking about the game is not fair. The game is not fair. The game is not fair, but someone has to win. The game is not fair, but someone has to win. So look, what's going on, Jonathan W? What's going on? Good to see you in the place to be. Shout out to everyone. You don't want to miss tomorrow. We got Pimp God coming through. You don't want to miss it tomorrow as we go right into the teaching. Streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram all at the same time. This is Lawrence D. Adams. Shout out to everybody that's here. We're going to get live in a few minutes. I'm going to pull the camera up. What's going on, everybody? This is Lawrence D. Adams. We are live today, and we are actually streaming on 3 different places. What's going on, Marcus Alexander? What's going on? What's going on? That is Mr. Alpha Villain. I think that's Alpha Villain. I think that's him. No, here's Graham. What's going on? Shout out to True Savage. What's going on, everybody? Yes, we're on Instagram right now, live, and we are on Facebook, and we're on YouTube. We've been working on this all yesterday for about 3 or 4 hours, actually getting everything tightened up, getting everything together. We're actually preparing for today and for on tomorrow. We're going to have Pimp God come through. You don't want to miss that. We're going to start on time. We can get it going, get it rolling. Tell your friends, tell your cousins, tell everybody come through. We're going to be going live right there. Shout out to Coach Michael. I see him on Instagram. Shout out, Coach Michael. I see you right there. I like that. See, now you can go on Instagram too. What's going on? What's going on, Joe Blas? What's going on, my brothers? Appreciate you guys coming through and showing the love. Appreciate you. I see you, Coach Michael, on Instagram. I see the people out in YouTube and on Facebook. So we are in 3 places at 3 times. Of course, on Instagram. So I'll let you know, on Instagram, you cannot see the video yet. We're working on that, but we are getting that, working that kink out. But you can actually hear the audio on Instagram. So shout out to you. Those are in there. So if I see if I leave a comment or anything, if you want to respond, you can respond right on YouTube or on right on YouTube. You can respond back to us. But today we talk about the game is not fair, but someone has to win. We're going to get right into it. Let me check some things right quick. Okay. So yeah, everything's look good. We are taking it to another level. That's what we're doing. When you get in, come on, get those likes up. We're taking everything to the next level here. Some people want to be on Instagram. Some people want to be on Facebook. And some people want to be on YouTube. So you're now able to get on all 3 of those platforms at the same time as we begin to talk about this teaching. So shout out to everybody. So if you see me on Instagram and you're watching this, like, I don't see anybody talking, well, you can hear us and you can hear us clearly. That's the beauty of it. But today we're talking about the game isn't fair, but someone has to win. And I want you to get our saying is this, the thinking, it is this: when spirituality and the game collide, you have the what? Thinking class. When the spirituality and the game collides, you have the what? Thinking class. And if you don't get it, it is your own as fault. So we want to definitely shout out everyone that's there. We are live and direct. Hit the like button on anything. Show some love. We will see it. I'm actually looking at 3 screens at the same time as I'm doing this. This is called multitasking, but this is also taking everything up to the next level. It was just storming here, but we are doing it. What's going on, Dre? So yesterday, if you missed yesterday with our special guest who came through and she was dropping some gems, you know she was talking in an advanced level class. So today we're going to continue with the theme is the game isn't fair, but someone has to win. Let me say that again. The game isn't fair, but someone has to win. Someone has to win. So we're going to continue with that theme. Let me adjust my mic right quick because to me, it's not sitting right where I need it to sit, where you can hear me clearly. And if I turn my neck, there we go. The game is not fair, but someone has to win. Let me say that again. The game is not fair, but someone has to win. And we've been talking about that for this week. And tomorrow we're going to have Pimpcott come through and he's going to drop some gems on him. So I want you to definitely make sure you come with that. But the game is not fair. Someone has to win. The reason why it's not fair is because you have the unfair advantage of knowing some principles and some ways of thinking that others do not. So it's going to make it unfair. It's going to make it unfair. Shout out, what's going on? It's Grant. What's going on, my brother? I see you. It's going to make it what? Unfair. I don't care. I know what was said yesterday, but I want you to get it is unfair. It's unfair that the kindergarten doesn't know the same thing as the one that's what's going on, Cerise, doesn't know the same thing as those who are in the master's course. It may seem, it may look, why they know something and I don't know it though. No, it's unfair. It's going to be unfair. It's going to be unfair, plain and simple. Once you realize that is going to be unfair, you have a choice whether you're going to allow it to stay unfair or are you going to make a difference? Are you going to make a difference and say, I'm not going to allow it to be any unfair? I'm not going to allow it to be unfair anymore. So that's the premise that you really got to get right here. So the game is always going to be unfair. It's from those who know and those who do not know. It's just that simple. It's those who know and those who do not know. Let me say that again. It's for those who know and those who do not know. That separates those who have game and those who do not have game. You can see it when it comes to banking. You can see it when it comes down to people who are dealing with relationships. Some people know about women and some do not. Plain and simple. When you realize that, you say, you know what? There is a gulf of separation between those who know and those who do not know. And so it makes it unfair. Give an example for me. Now I got the book out. Shout out, got the book out. The Secret Invisible Crown. Yep, is out. But there is some the message is out there. Yes, the message is out there. But there is some things that needs to be done to clean this up. It needs to be cleaned up. It needs to be cleaned up. Grammar, some structures, some thoughts need to be expanded. It needs to be cleaned up. It needs to be done. But what happens is, if you do not make the adjustments, you're going to stay at one level. So shout out to everyone who got the book. Please know there's going to be re-edits. There's going to be update versions of it. It's going to be updates. It's going to be revised. It's going to be redone. So it makes it unfair to those who never made the first step to even write down the thought to even write their book. It makes it unfair to them, plain and simple. The game is not fair. So what I know about the book process and those who don't know makes it unfair because now I can do it in record time and get results. Plain and simple. The game is not fair, but someone has to win. I want you to really catch that. It makes it unfair. What's going on, Ernesto? I see you, bro. It makes it unfair. It makes it unfair that I know this and the other person doesn't. And once you realize that, it takes everything to the next level. So let's go a little bit deeper with this. So even with it being the game being unfair, you realize that it has nothing to do with other people. It has nothing. What's going on, bro? Tap it in. Appreciate it. It has nothing to do with other people. Just because they don't know the game, let me not say that. What's going on? Just because they don't know the game does not mean that it should be fair. So we in this society that we believe everything should be fair with everyone. If you look at it, everything will not be fair with everyone. It will never be like that. That's that false thinking that everything should be what? The same way across the whole board for everyone. And it's not. It's not going to happen. It's only when you realize that when you have the game strategy, problem solving, that's what we define game as. When you have the game, that it takes everything you do to the next level. What's going on, Tara? So it takes everything to the next level. That's why the game is not fair. The game would never be fair to the person who does not know game. I'm trying to keep it simple. What's going on, Jim? The game would never. So we got people on Instagram and Facebook who are tapping in. If you watch me on Instagram right now, I know you just see my face and if you hear my sounds. I'm actually live on YouTube and on Facebook at the same time. But I want you to realize that the game is it would never design for it to be fair. Some people know it and some people will never know it. Some people would never want to go to the next level because they're comfortable at being where they're at. What's going on, Asia? They're comfortable at being at the level that they're at, so they can't complain about it not being fair. When you look for it to be fair for everyone, it's the moment you realize when you look for it to be fair for everyone, which would never be, you might miss something. So let me tap into this. The level of game you have today may not be the level of game you need for tomorrow. Let me say that again. The level of game that you have for today may not be the level of game that you will have for tomorrow. What was fair today and what you know about the game can change tomorrow and make it unfair for you. So it might have been fair today for you, but tomorrow it may not be fair. So what are you saying, LDA? What you know today, the strategies that you have today may not work for what you need to do tomorrow. Let me say that again. It may not work for what you need to do tomorrow. That's why you constantly have to be building and adjusting your game for the situations that's going on around you. You have to adjust the game, the situations of what you know going around you. The problem is we don't know that our game that we had yesterday is no good for today. What's going on, Trav? The game that we have yesterday may not be the game that we have for tomorrow. Here you go, Trav. You want to come up? You got to You always got to plan for constant change. So you would not be in the place where the game would not be unfair to you. You would not be in the place where the game is not unfair to you. Let me say that again. You have to be in the place where you realize that if the game might be fair today, but it may not be fair for you tomorrow. You got to be in a place where you realize that I got to be in the winning circle. I got to be in what? The winning circle. I got to be winning. Yeah, that's right, Ernesto. There's power in the pivot. We talked about the pivot. The game is set to separate the weak from the strong. It always was designed to do that. It always was designed to separate those who want to change or those who do not want to change. It's plain and simple. You have to be able to adjust. You got to be willing to adjust. If you're not willing to adjust, what's going to happen is you're going to come on the side of not winning, and you're going to be on the side of it's not fair. Then you're going to come on the side, it's always somebody doing something. You're going to become a victim. They doing this, they're doing that. This ain't working, this ain't happening. And you said the game ain't fair. Why are they getting all the money? Why are they getting all the results? Why are they getting all the opportunities? Why are they getting everything? It's because it was designed for you to always been 10 toes down, being able to move, like Ernesto said on Instagram, on a pivot. Stagnation is our biggest enemy and is rooted from stubbornness and refusal to change your strategy. Please understand it. Right. Thank you, Jonathan W. If you do not realize that, you will stay the same and you will come into a place where you're not winning. Let's give an example. Let me be transparent, because it don't make sense to me to say this if I don't be transparent about it. Of course, I have a certain way of how I want things done, and I want it done ASAP. I want it done immediately. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I had to change my strategy. I have to change my strategy because in me doing it that way and just getting it done leaves out checks and balances. That means I'm not checking where I made mistakes and where things can be adjusted. Let me say that again. I'm a person, I want things, when we start something, I want to get to A to B and I want it done. What's going on, D So Smooth and over on Instagram? I want it done. I want it complete, done, finished, that's it. But in the middle, if I do not check if things are, all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted, all the comments are there, what's going to happen is I'm going to get the end result, but it may not be excellent. I'm just saying what I got to do, where I got to adjust. I'm not talking about nobody else. I'm talking about me. I had to look at that even with this book. Book is done, finished, okay, cover done, everything done. But I had to go back and do the checks and balances on what was done right and what was done wrong. So if I never go back and check the checks, never go back and look at the checks and balances, what's going to happen is going to place me in the place of being unfair. Or maybe it's going to place me in the place where I am in a place of being unfair. And I'm going to lose. So that's why it's so important. I'm being transparent. I got to be transparent. When I'm transparent, guess what happened? You realize that this has to be said, because I have to change my level of game, or it's going to become unfair for me. If this is resonating with you, let me know in all 3 chat rooms. If this is resonating with you, I see we got 2 people watching on Instagram, 11 people on YouTube and on Facebook. Let me know if this is resonating with you. You understand what I'm saying, why the game is unfair. Let me know in the chat room if you understand why the game is unfair. How are we sounding on Instagram? Those on Instagram, we sounding clear? Let me know over in Instagram if you can hear me clearly. Good. You can be in such a hurry to get from point A to point B or point Z that you never check all the other alphabets. Good. Coming through clearly. Thank you. You never checked all the other alphabets in the middle between A and Z. So the game is unfair, but someone has to win. So for you to be a winner and to have unfair advantage, you have to do things that most people will not do. Salute, what's going on, Carlos? With salute. So that you have the unfair advantage, you're going to have to do some things that other people will not do. You're going to have to put in the hours. You're going to have to do, you're going to have to put in the hours. You're going to have to put in the work to get the results so that you can become that winner. You're not just going to become a winner because you know what to do. You become a winner because you do what you have to do. Let me say that again. You don't become a winner because you know what to do. You become a winner when you know when you do what you have to do. You become, what's going on, Trav? So those on Instagram, you're watching Trav, this came through, you should be able to hear him very clearly. You do not become a winner just because you know what to do. You become a winner when you do what you have to do. Complete difference. That's why the game is unfair to some and why some win and some lose.
Mm-hmm.
What you got to say, Trav?
Nah, that's fact. I mean, and you don't always have a choice. I think that's one thing too, is that, we've been given so much choice in society that it hinders us because we don't want to make certain choices with so many choices because we want the best possible outcome with the least resistance. And that's not how life works. Like a lot of times the most resistance is what you need. Like one thing I was telling someone was like, if back in our hunter-gatherer days, if we ate bison and the bison decided to move to Nebraska and we're in California, well, you gonna have to move to Nebraska because it's like, if you don't follow the bison, you're not gonna eat. So, I think that's what happens is that a lot of us have been given so much and we've got so many spoils is that we don't want to make hard choices and adjust and adapt to survive. We just want our comforts. And that's just not how it works. I mean, I could talk for myself. Doing the entertainment for so many years, that was like my passion. That was something I wanted to do. It was my identity. In the last 4 or 5 years, a lot of stuff has changed, in entertainment with the internet and just the culture and all that. And then I started doing my own music. And then one of my partner in crime, basically, who was one of my best friends for 15 plus years, changed on me and he ghosted me. You know what I mean? Left me in a car when I went to go visit him. You know what I'm saying? Like left me in a car, like, you know what I'm saying? And then didn't even call me, sent me a text message. And I confronted him on it. Like, you sent me a text. You didn't even try to call me and make good for what you did. You left me in a car when I came down there to visit you. You knew I was out there. You know what I mean? And just little shady stuff. And like, I helped him with his career. Once I get going and people were loving my music, first song I put out gets 163,000 views on YouTube. That's not bad at all. But then he just totally changes on me, gives me every excuse in the world why he can't help me and all that. And then when I confront him about that too, he ghosts me.
Right.
So I was just like held back because I was like, damn, I did all this work. I did all these things and I accomplished and I got to a point. And then the team I thought I had, once I got to the point, they stopped fucking with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, what do I do? Like, this was like my whole life identity and now it's gone, and I had to adapt, and I'm still adapting, but I'm like, what do I do? Like, this thing I wanted to do is not it anymore. So I have to figure it out. If I stay stuck and just woe is me and don't change up and adapt to the situation, I'm done. So, I had to go and find computer coding or find different things to do to sustain myself and change my trajectory. Because I say, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't my choice, but what am I going to do? Just cry and not adapt and then I'm done.
Right. And that's knowing, that's when we define game. What's going on, Alfie? I see him on Instagram because we're live on Instagram right now too. Mm-hmm. So being able to adapt in the game is so important. It makes it If you're not able to adapt, guess what's going to happen? You're not going to be a winner. If you're not able to adapt, you're not going to be a winner, and the game is going to be unfair to you instead of being fair for you. That's why the game isn't fair for everyone. Salute to Straight G. What's going on?
Yeah, life's not fair, but life's not fair. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you have to adapt. You know, and it's just the sooner you accept that, the sooner. I'm not saying you can't have your frustrations. I've definitely had my frustrations, but you know, you have to adapt. I'm still winning out here despite not being happy with certain things, how they changed and didn't work out, but you just have to keep going. You got to refine that motivation.
Yeah. Let me get Jim on Jim up on Instagram. He says it's essential to adapt and overcome throughout life. Complacency and feeling sorry for yourself is not the way. Dude, Jim, you definitely have a story. I know Jim, we worked together several years back. He left. Dude, let me tell you what Jim did, Trav. Jim got all the way, I think, past his 90 days. I think he used up all his PTO. And guess what he did? He quit a good job. I said, why would you do that? Now, I mean, you know, there's some variations in the story. He left. He ended up, next time I talked to him, he was in Hawaii. I said, dude, how did you get to Hawaii? I just went. Went to Hawaii, had a good time, had a storm, and then he ended up coming back. Now he's working at a college doing what he was doing, more than what he was doing in the job he left where I was at, and being paid more. But if he never striked out and said, I can't do this right now, I can't take this, and said, there's more for me, he would have been still stuck doing the same job that we were doing at that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, go ahead.
No, I mean, and sometimes when you need to make this change, not everybody's going to see the change, like the benefits of it right away of what you're trying to do. But you have to know for yourself, you know what I mean? You got to please yourself first. And a lot of times, we follow paths in life because people told us that we're supposed to do that. But it doesn't mean it was the right path, or that's what you're supposed to be doing. I mean, honestly, we were taught to live a certain way because it benefits the system. You have to live in a certain way that's going to benefit your system. Wow. You know, as far as with men, we make decisions sometimes. You know I did this in the past. I don't now, but in the past, I'd be like, oh, I need to do this because if I'm going to have a family and have a wife, they're going to want to have this. They're going to want to have that. And, you know, now I'm at a different point. I'm like, man, forget that. I'm running my own show. And if someone wants to come along, they can come along. If not, they're not going to.
You said something real powerful, man. You know what we got to do? And I'm at this point right now. We have to kill. Y'all better catch this one, man. Y'all better catch this one. We have to kill every thought of we have to kill every thought that people propped up on what we should do, because it becomes idols.
Yeah.
Because it don't honor our true purpose. We have to kill what we think how a relationship go, how things should happen, what car you should drive, where you should go to school at, how you should do things. The best thing a man, we're talking to men right now and women, the best thing you can do is you got to let go of everyone else's perception of what you think you should do.
Mm-hmm.
Got to. If not, you would never, ever. I am going through that right now. It's some things that I've been, 49 years been doing. I'm going to do it this way. That's the way it is. Bruh, I'm telling you, Trav, I got to let it go. If I don't adapt and change, guess what's going to happen? I will be left behind knowing all the game, and it will be my own asphalt.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't want to adapt, and that's because you don't like it, that's okay too. You don't have to do something you don't want to do. You just have to accept what the consequences of that is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I used to love being a part and doing music, but now I don't care about it anymore because the game changed. It's not what we grew up on. Now it's like you have to make a song that's popular for TikTok and Instagram, and it's got to be on some BS. And And then I'm older too. It's like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not into a lot. I've realized a lot of the entertainment industry is fake being around it, and it's not what people think. And it's like, dude, like for example, like I like the UFC, but a lot of the fighters that are on there, I make more money than them net as a computer programmer than they do as fighters on television. And people don't know that. So it's like, you know, it's like, okay, I'm gonna just do something different. Like I would love to do that, but to me, it's not enough money to, you know, for what you're doing. So it's like, you know, but these were just tough decisions I had to make. I didn't know I was gonna like, I didn't know if I was gonna like doing coding. I know logically it made sense, but I was like, this wasn't my passion. The other thing was my passion, but I had to adapt and get realistic because I'm looking at these bills and I'm like, these money, and I'm like, I'm not doing bad, but I need to be doing better. So
it's if you don't make that, if you have to kill those idols, man. I'm even at my age, and I'm saying it because I got to look in the mirror. There's some things I got to adjust. I have to adjust. I have to freaking adjust, whether I like it or not. Because guess what? It doesn't work for where I want to go. It doesn't work.
Yeah. And we're not bigger than the game. We're a part of the game. We're not bigger than it, though.
Man, say that, man, right there. That's the truth. We're not.
You can be a factor in the game, but you're not. No one is bigger than the game. You know what I mean? Of life, we're not.
When you think that you mastered the game, is when you realize that you're ready to die and you lost your spirit to be a student. You lost your spirit to be a student. You got to be always a student of the game. That's what makes it unfair. We talked about that at the beginning of it, at the beginning of Monday. Why it's unfair is because you realize I got to always be a student of the game. Life is always looking for a way to teach you how to level up. And sometimes we don't want to listen because where it's coming from and who's saying it.
Yeah. No, I mean, you got to adapt, dude. Like, you know, and a lot of times I just saw, it's funny. I just saw a quote from Charles Darwin. And it was like something like, it's not the strongest or the smartest person who survives or you know, animal that survives, but it's the one that's willing to adapt the quickest.
That's powerful right there.
And it's true. You know what I mean? Like I mean, there's been moments where I had to check myself and I'm like, dang, I gotta change up. You know, the stuff that I was doing was working. It don't work now though. It's not, you know, and I have to be willing to change and do what I gotta do. You know what I mean? If you're not, some things you don't have to adapt to if you don't want to, but you have to accept the consequences of not wanting to adapt. It's just, are you willing to accept the consequences, good or bad, for what decisions you're gonna make? That's just basically what it is. Most people just don't want to accept consequences. They want to make choices they want to do, but get all the outcomes they want with the choices. Life doesn't work like that.
I'm going to tell you, because I'm going to be real. I'm going to be some more transparent because you guys are dropping some real good things in here. The reason why most people don't want to change, and I'm looking in the mirror, is because of this one word. It's so small. It's 3 letters. And we as men sometimes have it bad, but women have it too. It's your ego. Your ego stands in the way why you can't adapt to change, why you do not want to change. You do not want to feel like you're doing wrong or that you cannot. Your ego has to be put into check, not squash, but put into check and used the correct way. But if your ego is out of place, dude, it would take you to places that you don't need to go. And stop things from coming in your life that you need to get you to the next level. Your ego, E-G-O. One definition they have is edging God out. But we're saying your ego will rob you, dude, if you don't put it in check. If you don't make the changes. I've seen it.
And you'll see, and sometimes too, your success is going to hurt other people's ego. And you might have to adapt as far as your associations. That's the one thing I wish somebody would have really told me sooner is, hey, you want to be successful, but it's like, it's like that scene in American Gangster with Denzel and the Italian dude when they're talking. I think it was Gotti or somebody.
No, it was I'm looking right. Go ahead.
Whoever was the Italian boss at the time, but he's like, all right, someone tried to kill you. You know what I'm saying? Someone took a shot at you. He's like, that comes with success. Look how successful you are. It's like people are going to feel a certain way. It's like, what do you want? You want to be unsuccessful? Then you won't have to deal with this, but you'll be unsuccessful. What do you want? And it's like, that's the truth. It's like, as more as you rise up, you're going to deal with things and you got to adjust accordingly. I was like, I've been going through it. Like I was feeling like Denzel. I was pissed off because all these people I helped out for years and always did what I had to do, supported them when no one supported them, when it's my time. And obviously y'all see me podcast and do this. I don't suck at anything I do. I'm pretty good at everything I do. I'm being honest about that because I put in the work. Pretty good at a lot of stuff I do. So when I saw these people turning on me or acting a certain way, especially when strangers were giving me a bunch of support, but people closest to me start acting distant or changing up, I'm like, what's going on here? And it's because I was hurting their ego. Whether they want to admit it or not. And it's just like, okay, so every time you need something from me, I'm there for you. And then after years and years, the one time I ask for something, it's always excuse. Oh, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? But I had to adapt. Was it always easy for me to move on? Do I have times where I get frustrated? Yeah, because these were people you invested so much time in and you didn't change on them and they changed on you. But again, I can just sit in a hole or I can adapt and move on.
Right. That's good. That's good talk right there, because sometimes your success, you winning at the game will bruise somebody else's ego. You winning at the game. Oh, Trav got that girl. Trav doing coding now and he can travel anywhere he wants to.
Yeah, there's people that it's like I was working at ESPN doing music. Now I'm doing coding. Like that's not realistic to people. It's like you can't do all those things. Why not? If you have the ability to, why not? I'm doing it right now. Is it just that because I'm so close to you, that type of success can't be that close. It has to come from all the way over on the other side of the world or the country to be realistic. It can't be, oh, my friend is actually just that good and I'm not. It's not. It has to be some super far off person to validate it, because, oh, it can't just be that, oh, my friend did it, so I didn't make the same decisions he did, and that's why he's doing it and I'm not. It's only luck, and it has to be some mythical person far away that I've never met before. Like, that's how people operate.
Yeah, dude, I promise you, because some people can't stand for you to win, because your winning actually sheds light into their darkness.
Yeah.
Trust me. I know I've been on both sides. Why are these people winning? I know this and this and that. So it shed light to my darkness. I'm gonna tell you where it shed light to. Let's be very clear. Trav, you got me being real transparent today. It shed light into my insecurities.
Yeah.
It's clear. That's what it is.
And here's the thing. We all have little insecurities, or like, it doesn't mean that it's like I have little insecurities, but it's not something where it's like I'm super insecure about it. It's just like, oh, I would change that, but whatever. You know what I mean? And there's times where I'm like, I'm never jealous of people. I can admit I might be a little envious at times, but I'm envious in a proud way. Like, it'll be more like, man, I wish I had it like that, but I'm not hating on that dude for what he's got. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, let me get that. You know what I mean? Let me motivate myself to get that. So I think that's okay. But yeah, I don't go to the hating part, but yeah, that's what those people do. And then it doesn't matter how much you help these people, how much you care about them, how much your success was motivated by them. People don't care. It's still a problem. And it shows through action.
She'll do that.
And you'll know because people will act out of character. People you've known for years start acting out of character. Why? Because you done figured it out before them. Their egos hurt. And you know what I mean? They don't want to accept their insecurities and their facts. They got to work on themselves. You know what I mean? The guy that I'm talking about that left me in the car and then ghosted me when I confronted him on how he was acting, 7 months later had a heart attack and almost died. I just found that out yesterday.
Jeez.
But guess what? I don't feel sorry for him. I don't wish a heart attack on you, but at the same time, like, bro, you've been ghosting me for 7 months before that happened. I don't feel sorry for you. Maybe it's some karma for your ass.
Yeah.
That's just me, bro. And all these people I know is giving them support and all that. And I'm sorry, I did this too. People that know me and him know the story.
Right.
Yeah, people want to play middle of the road. I don't have time for middle of the road people either. Sometimes someone is more obviously wrong than the other. And people just want to play middle of the road because, oh, it's not me. But you know it happened, bro. You know, you're close enough to people to know this whole story. So I cut them off too. I'm like, you guys are too wishy-washy. And it just shows me too, unless it happens to you, you don't care. So nah, I'll go find somebody else. I don't care. That's 18 years, so many years of friendship. That one action showed me a lot right there, more than 18 years. Y'all out.
Right. You gotta be that cold sometimes. You have to be that cold. Shout out to everybody. Melissa, what's going on, Melissa? What's going on, Real? What's that? The Real Leonardo. What's going on over on Instagram? Everybody's on Instagram. Y'all can give me some hearts. Let me know you guys are there. You can hear me loud and clear. Those on YouTube and Facebook, we are on 3 platforms all at the same time. Can you believe it? You're at the same time. But yeah, you definitely gotta know how to cut. Got to know how to cut people go. You got to know how to cut people off.
Yeah. Then I got his family members trying to add me on social media, and I'm not adding them. Mm-hmm. They probably heard what happened, and they probably are like, "No, I'm kind of right," or like, "Dang, that's crazy." Because the guy's own family was like, "Man, your music is good. How come you and your friend, you and blah blah blah, you guys need to do stuff together?" The guy's own family will come up to him, man, he's pretty good. You guys should do stuff together. You know what I mean? So it's just like, nah, you out. Peace.
Right.
Now, easiest decision though? No. That was a friendship that was very close for almost 20 years. Mm-hmm. But I still made the hard decision. I was like, I can't be treated like this. Mm-hmm. So.
Right. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. Sometimes it is not, but that's part of the game being unfair, that someone has to win. You got to determine where I want to go, and because I want to win in the game that I know, you cannot fit into my team. And guess what, bro? We got to go part ways. We got to go separate ways. What's going on, Meeky Meek? I see my nephew in there. What's going on, Meek Meek? So yeah, that's shout out to everybody that's in the chat room. I want you to put the 115 is the number. Let me put that. I'm used to touching my screen. Jeez Louise. 115. Don't miss tomorrow. Pimp God will come through tomorrow. We're gonna be chopping it up.
Good one.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be so me and Pimp God, you know, we go back. I found the element, he ain't gonna talk about it. I found an elementary picture of him when he was in 5th grade.
Hey.
Gee, I was like, bro, this you? He said, yeah, that's me, man. Yeah, but yeah, tomorrow's gonna be something else. So that's what makes the game unfair, is that, you know, sometimes you got to cut people off so that you can win.
You know what's unfair too? When you have you adapt. Mm-hmm. Other people aren't going to adapt with you, and you have to decide. You have to decide if, like, you have to be comfortable being alone, like, because a lot of times the adaptions that you make, other people aren't going to adapt with you, and that's the thing. Like, when I go on to people who what do you call it? That's a good comment right there. But yeah, like when I started, you know, going to the gym more, or when I started making different things, Other people didn't want to make those adaptations. Some people looked at me kind of weird for doing certain stuff. Like, how come you eat like that?
Mm-hmm.
How come you do this? I remember I went to a restaurant, and this has happened multiple times. I'll order something very clean. I'll be like, hey, I want the steak and eggs, but I don't want this type of bread. I want this. I don't want this. I don't want that. And it's totally different than what everybody else orders. I've had waiters and waitresses feel sorry for me and want to give me worse food because it's different. And I'm like, no, I don't want that.
Right.
I think it's so weird what I'm doing, but I'm like, well, that's why you're fat and I'm not. So it's like, but I'm weird because I'm adapting to what's right. Mm-hmm. But everybody does everything wrong culturally. So I'm the weird one. When it's like, nah, but okay, all of y'all are fat. I'm not. So who's really weird, me or y'all?
Mm-hmm.
You say you want to look like me, but you clown on how I eat.
Mm-hmm.
What? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh-oh. Oh, the light-skinned brothers, we all here.
It's the lights. It's not really, I'm not really light-skinned.
Yeah, right. Dude, so how'd it sound on Instagram? Sounds good?
Yeah, it looks good. I think it stopped at one point and then came back. I don't know.
Yeah, we having storms over here. Jono, Trav.
What's going on, Trav? What's up, brother?
What it do?
The 3 beige. 3 beige. But yeah, you got to be able to adapt, and everyone is not going to agree with you adapting. They want you to stay the same. Just be, I'm gonna tell you the thing I used to get. Just be Little Lawrence. I was about to say my other name, but just be Little Lawrence and stay that way. Don't get better. Don't do that. Because if you do, it's going we talked about earlier, it's going to make them uncomfortable. Because they want to still fit you in the same box of how they had you years ago.
Bruh, let me comment real quick on that. And I'm gonna give a good example. So when I started seeing the changes in the dating game and how it wasn't like what we grew up on and all that, I was like, and I was doing music at the time too. I was like, you know what? I was like, one way I'm gonna push this music is I'm gonna start really going hard at these women, and I don't have to be with all of them, but I'm gonna like seduce them and then get them to like play my stuff, and like and through that's how it's gonna work. I was like, because if women co-sign you, you're good. Mm-hmm. Dude, and I'm saying that because of the success I was having with women at the time. The comments that some of the people closest to me that remember how I was at 17, 16 years old compared to 33, 32, it was like, well, nah, you don't want to do that because people are going to find you out. I was like, find out what? Now, LDA, I met you later, but you know, and I met you, and I've asked for advice. I'm not above advice, but you've seen my receipts.
Yes, I have.
See, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, and these people have seen them too, but yet they still want to hold you to that weakest part of your life when you were 17, 16, still developing and finding yourself. I'm not 16 and 17. I'm 33. I'm Trey Foe. I got past all that decades ago almost. But you still want to hold me to that weakest part of my life because you're still weak in that area and misery loves company.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I had to get that out real quick.
I don't know if you guys brought it up yet because I just jumped in, but when people want you to stay the same, it's probably because that's where you were predictable. They want to know how to move your steps so they can move their steps because of the way you always did things. You see what I'm saying? You ever get that friend that says, hey, are you home? No, why you ask me if I'm home? You just ask me what you want to ask me. You hear what I'm saying? Because they know if you're home, they can captivate your time and your audience. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, what happens is when you are not predictable, then they respect your time a little better. You see what I'm saying? They respect you when you're not actually consistent because they now respect the inconsistency in you when really you're supposed to be the other way around. You see what I'm saying?
That's interesting. I got a video I did about 2 years ago, 2019, I think it was. Being consistently inconsistent. Being consistently inconsistent. Now that you go back and check the archive. I think I didn't pull it down. Guess what happens? It makes you hypnotic to women. Anyway. Yeah.
Sometimes people pay attention to you because they want to see what move you make, as opposed to your your consistency being predictable. They know, well, I know he's going to do this at this time. I don't have to really pay attention, and don't get any attention paid at all. Mm-hmm. You see the problem? Mm-hmm. That makes it a huge problem. So we have to really be respectful of people if they got to get them back on track, or just get rid of them. Period. If you want to get you back on track, do what you wouldn't be expected to do.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah. Here's another thing about being inconsistent. So, okay, the other day I was over at someone's at a lady spot. I went over there, and like, I'm just chilling. We're not going out. We're not doing anything. I'm just going to her apartment. We're watching the finals and just chilling. So I just wear like a nice sweat fit I got because I'm just chilling around the spot. But I've worn that before when we went out and all that. But, we're just chilling. So I'm going to wear that. So I go over to her house. The first thing she says to me is, "Oh, you're wearing that outfit again?" And I'm like, "What does that mean?" You know what I'm saying? And she's like trying to be quiet. I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Well, you've worn that before and before." I'm like, "And I'm going to wear it again because I'm just lounging around the house." And she's like, "Oh, that makes sense." But see how it was getting predictable. So she's like, "What? You're wearing that again?" So then I see her yesterday, and I'm wearing a fit she'd never seen before. Why? Because we're out and about, not because we're chilling. Oh, she takes video of me walking up because she likes my fit so much. And then I got catered to last night because of the fit. But I'm like, see, no matter how much game I got, she was getting used to me. And now she wants to say a smart little comment like that. So I had to check her. And then on the next day, she sees me in something she ain't never seen me in before. And now I'm getting all this good treatment because, I sparked it up. You see what I mean? So you have to be consistently inconsistent. Just off a little fit. That's how small little changes can be that can make or break certain things. That's how petty and fickle people can be too.
I was going to ask you, how did you get catered? But I already know.
Yeah. We'll keep that private.
But it's so true. You got to learn how to be consistently inconsistent. So anyone who want to know, the video is live. It's on YouTube. You can find it. It's being consistently inconsistent. When you become predictable, guess what? When you become unpredictable, they can't place you in the hole, put you in a place you in a particular box, like you said, Jono. I thought about it. If you're playing the game and the finals are going right, what they do is this: they go over the tapes of all your plays.
It's true.
And they go study them.
Yeah, they're looking for what? A pattern.
This is a great analogy right here.
They're looking for a pattern. We know Chris Paul's going to go left when we do this play. Right? We know that Giannis is going to go, he's going to cut down the middle if they give him the ball. What you have to do is change your pattern of what they think you're going to do and do it the opposite, do it a different way.
Complete facts.
Some people reward consistency, and those are the people you have to stay consistent with. Mm-hmm. If you do a certain task for somebody and they pay you consistently, that's a very, very foundating part of business, right? But if people have a habit of taking advantage of you when you are consistent, then you have to change the game. You have to break it up. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You won't have a healthy relationship if you continue that way.
You got to do that in relationships, dude. I'm gonna tell you. I like giving flowers. I like giving flowers every week. That's just what I do. Y'all can call it simple, whatever. I don't care what y'all think. But what I had to do is change up the flowers that I was giving. Now I give flowers every week, but I changed up the flowers that I was giving because I what? I had to change the pattern. It's still flowers, but it's a different type of flower. But there comes a different, like you just said, John, like you were mentioning, Trav, it's a different kind of appreciation. Even though it's consistent, it's inconsistent.
Little tweaks and little changes, just like you said. There's another one. So in MMA, when someone becomes a champion, it's easier to become champion than it is to stay a champion. Why is because on the come up, not everybody's looking at you because you're not the champ yet. Not all eyes are on you. So not everybody knows everything you do. Once you're at the top, you're looking down on everybody. So since you're looking down on everybody, everybody's studying you more than more. Now all your tape is on display. All your patterns show. So all those patterns that you were doing to fight people and win and all that, people didn't look at totally yet. But now you're the champ. Everybody looking now. Because remember, a lot of people don't pay attention when you're on the ascent, but they pay attention when you're at the top. So that you're at the top, just like we say with dating. A lot of times when people ain't gonna be there at the bubble, but they're gonna be there at the finish line. So now that you're at the finish line, per se, as far as you've made it as a champion, everybody's watching everything you're doing. All your patterns are exposed. So you either switch it up or you get figured out, and then now there's another champion. Now you become obsolete. So if you get knocked off, you got to change up to get back to becoming champion.
So would you say, or will we come to consensus that the game you had to get to the championship is one thing, but the game to stay at the championship is completely different?
Yes.
It's completely different.
Yeah, it's so like how Jay-Z said, you got to treat your last success like it was your first. And that way you will never get complacent or feel comfortable with winning. You see what I'm saying? You're supposed to get uncomfortable with it so that you will try harder and do the most.
Definitely. There's so much game today. What time is it? We got 1 minute left. Wow, man. Trav, JONO, the Beige brothers done showed up. Beige brothers done showed up. So don't forget, tomorrow we got Pimp God coming through.
Feel comfortable. Oh shoot, that was Instagram.
It's bleeding through. It's coming through clear, isn't it?
I was testing Instagram. Yeah, it's working good.
Wait till we get the video to it. It's going to take it to the next level. Yo, my dude Jim, who's over in the it's starting to lag. I'm looking at it right now. Jim over in Instagram, he been listening all the time since we've been here. A step ahead and cutting above. That's how you dominate the game. Woo, okay, that's Monica. That's my first ever host right there, Monica Kingdom Diva Cooper. Shout out to you. Facts. That's how John Jones keep winning. Right. So definitely. So tomorrow you don't want to miss. We got Pimp God coming through. Oh, look who we got another Beige brother coming through.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's Nelly. What's going on? What's going on? Good, the Beige brothers are in town. I can't hear you, man.
Yeah.
There we go. Can you guys hear me?
Boom, there you go.
I'm on my headphones. I'm at work, so I just LDA sent the link or whatever. So I was like, let me tap in real quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nelly was out there he was getting it in New Jersey. I seen him out there doing this thing 1, 2.
Yes, sir. It's Jersey. That's what it is. You already know. Shout out to everybody that's listening that's from Jersey too, by the way.
Yeah, man. So I'm gonna ask you a question because I know you at work. Is it a difference between? Do you have the same game when you're trying to get to the top versus when you're at the top?
Say that again.
Is the game that you have to win to be the best? Does it change once you become the best?
I think that's inevitable that it has to change. So that way, when you do get to the top, that you won't get complacent or you don't reverse and back into bad habits that it prevented you from the beginning to even reaching that high level. You know what I'm saying? And I'm assuming that you're gonna interact with different people. I mean, that's gonna put yourself in better circles. I mean, people that's going to motivate you to win. You know what I'm saying? So, hell yeah, it has to happen. Evolution, baby, it has to happen. You know?
So, what do you think the people who get complacent at the top? What do you think about that? So they got the wins. They didn't have all the girls. They ain't got the cars, but then they come complacent. Must be a delay. He muted his mic.
It might be a Bluetooth interference.
Yeah. It looked like it froze.
Oh, okay, there you go. So yeah, so is the game fair or is it not fair? Nelly.
Shoot, I think it's all about what you put into it. Like we all men here. Like we're not women. We don't have a delusion. Well, some men have some delusional minds, but for the most part, us men know where we are, where we are in this world, what we need to do if we want to elevate, if we choose to elevate. So it's all about what the work you put in. So you can't complain at the end of the day if you're not where you want to be at. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about what you do. You know what I'm saying? We all got the same 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? So what are you doing in those 24 hours? Are you previously setting at night, setting up your day before so that way you won't waste no time the next day? Like what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Are you surrounded by exactly. I go on my phone every night before I go to sleep. These are the important things that I must do, or these are the things that I must do, and I set it up properly so that way I won't waste my day because I'm always on the grind. I'm always working. You know what I'm saying? I'm always putting in 11 to 10 hour days working. You know what I'm saying? So I can't waste my day. So hell yeah. It may not be fair, but hey, you gotta put in that work. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put in that work.
You know what I just heard? I just heard this. If you know it's not fair for you to think that you could do it without putting in the work.
Whoa.
Right. Cheating yourself.
That's what's not fair.
Right. Because you're not fooling nobody. You know what I'm saying? Only person you be fooling is yourself at the end of the day. And you're cheating yourself. So why would you treat yourself that way? You know what I mean? I had this motto. My fellas can tell y'all. It was called no excuses. I developed that mindset in 2020 and it's continuing to 2021. No excuses. There's times where I'll be tired or I'm mentally drained or I got some family stuff going on or whatever the case may be, but I put in my mind right behind it. No excuses. Get it done. No matter what it takes, how long it takes, get it done. Whatever it is I gotta do, get it done. You know what I'm saying?
That's funny you said that because I said something earlier before everybody got on. I have the mentality I want to get it done from A to Z. But the problem I have, and I'm being very transparent, I forget about all the letters in between. Let me say that again. So my thing is I got to get it done. No, nothing got to be done. But I have to slow down and say, look at all the letters between A and Z and make sure they're all there. And when I don't do that, I end up having subpar results instead of having the best results. And the best way I can say that, because I'm being very transparent, is even in my book. Now, I wanted it done. It's done. Okay, good. But when you go back and look through it, you realize I got to make some adjustments. Because I was always on the mindset that get it done. But I said, you know what? Step back. Even before the broadcast, I was going back and re-editing from a proofreader over the content. So my guys, yes, you got to have that get it done, no excuse. But in your get it done, make sure all your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted.
All right. Hey, I was on my break, so I'm gonna get back to work. But I wanted to slide through because I like this thing. But I'm gonna holler at y'all and I'm still listening. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.
Appreciate you, bro.
Peace to Beige brothers. Beige brothers, you came through today.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
Man. But I had to say that because I had to look at my own life, and sometimes I'm gonna say this, and then I'm being more transparent. Sometimes it's hard to receive when someone says that you're missing some of the letters in your A to Z because you think you got it done. You just got it done. So you got to be able, huh?
You're right about that.
Yeah.
People, you can't receive the whole message if you're not complete.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I was going to say too, because LDA, you hit it right on the nose where you have this mind. You stuck on this mind thing where you have to get it done, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is a gem for everybody that's going to listen and everybody that's going to catch the playback afterwards, right? You got to keep in mind that life is not a sprint; it's a marathon. Life is not a sprint; it's a marathon. Meaning that you're not going to always get what you want as quickly as you want. You have to take your time. You know what I'm saying? You got to put in the work. You got to do the research. You know what I'm saying? You got to take baby steps. You got to remove some steps out and then move forward. Whatever you got to do. But just remember that life is not a sprint. It's a marathon. Take your time. You know what I'm saying? We all know we want to get the things done as fast as possible. Sometimes life doesn't work like that. Life's got its ups. Life's got its downs. You know what I'm saying? I just did that in reverse. But y'all guys know what I mean. You know what I'm saying? Life is not a sprint. It's a marathon. You know what I'm saying? So take your time and put it to work in. And you will get your results. Stay consistent and persistent and you will get your results.
That's real talk, man. That's me. And I realized I've been on a sprint. I gotta slow down and do some marathons. I used to run a marathon. Ain't that crazy? But you gotta apply that to your own life. Yo, but we're gonna get ready to go because we've been on Instagram for over an hour. I'm surprised Instagram is still going. And we've been on Facebook and YouTube all at the same time.
Oh, that's what's up. You finally got the connection together?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Wait till we do the video.
That's what's up.
Yeah. So shout out tomorrow. So everybody come here tomorrow. The number today is 115. You see the number 115 anytime today. Know it is resonating to what we are talking about today. 115. It's the number for the day. Join us tomorrow with Pimp Gotta Be Through. Travis join on Instagram. I just seen you pop through. We will be tomorrow 12:30 sharp. Pimp Gotta Be here. We're gonna drop some P's and Q's and some A's and Z's. Be on this, not on the sprint, but on the marathon to get you this content. You don't want to miss it. So if you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, on YouTube, tomorrow Pimp God Warren B will be here. We are going live. I got to go text him and tell him, dude, make sure you're here tomorrow. So we going through, but you know what time it is? We out of here. We out of here. You ain't seen nothing like this. 115. We out of here. Beige Brothers. Peace. Get the likes, get the comments up. We out of here. Shout out to my dude, Jim. I see you, bro. Appreciate the love. Thank you, bro. You can always come up, Jim. Always come up on YouTube. You can come up. I'll give you the link. You can always come up into the show. We worldwide. We worldwide. We worldwide. Man, what you think about today's show, John? You think it was good, man?
I think it was definitely on a new level. Definitely a new plateau.
Wait till tomorrow, man. 3 platforms at the same time. You only get better. Wait till the video come out on Instagram. You're like, how'd y'all do that? How you do that there?
Oh, they're already saying that.
Yeah. And the audio was what? Crystal clear?
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
That's crazy. Well, I guess it'll be tomorrow. You guys later. Oh, sorry. Oh, all right.